What's up, everybody? Gosh. Hey, for all of you, I say all of you, for the few of you that were wondering about the chat, I put it here inside now. So now you don't have to wait for YouTube to process and all that shit for this to pop up. So you can follow along with what I'm reading and what everybody else is reading as well. See, smart. This one, wicked smart. I don't know about that, but what's going on, everybody? Yes, pants. It is so lame because we're just hanging out talking about stuff. It's kind of lame, super lame. Some people may think it's Casey Cooper. Where's my hat? Damn it! I forgot my hat again. It's still hanging over there on the thing. You don't believe me? I have the hat, huh? Is that what it is? You believe that I don't have? Casey Cooper says, "What is this? I'm still blind. I was hoping to sell a few hundred of my book. I can't believe it's the third day. Wow. What book is this? How come I don't know about this book, sir? Sir, how come I do not know about this book? Okay." D Rabbits, I'm going to ask that you make sure and schedule your visit with your optometrist just as soon as possible. So I'm going to say, just as soon as possible. It is good to see all of you. Elizabeth, I see you over there. So, man, there's a lot of things I want to talk about, but I'm not sure you guys want me to talk about them, nor am I sure that you want to listen to me talk about them. So we're just going to do the thing. Excuse me, sir, Mr. Sean Michael Beasley, who says, I can't read Johnny. I just read Johnny twice, and I even said it as I was reading it. So, poof, there you go. You go away now. I'm kidding. Don't go away. Stick around, please. Stick around. I can read. Casey Cooper says it's called The Ballad of House Draconis by Casey Cooper, Epic Fantasy. Okay, so send me a link in Discord or the plothole1 at gmail.com. Tell me where I can find it because I'm always looking for a good book. I say that, but usually it's so I can throw it at somebody. I'm kidding. I won't throw it. I will definitely read it. I will read it. Wait a second. D Rabbit says, just got back from that guy, the optometrist. Wait, come back here. What happened? No, I can't. There we go. I need to go to the optometrist because I can't read unless I magnify. Shared a pic of you and the Y agreed. Now what? Well, I don't know who the Y is, but if it's, young men, then maybe they're equally as blind. I doubt. Sandy D, at least you got here, right? At least you got here. So this time you start your stream right before I go to bed. Well, here's the thing. According to some, I'm extremely boring, so it should help you fall asleep. Or it's going to act as like that terrible little irritating voice in your head that keeps you awake all night. I don't know. I have the voice that keeps me awake all night. Therefore, I don't sleep. So that's why I'm here. Yeah, but send me that link, Casey Cooper. I would like to check it out. And as you can see, I've kind of rearranged the room, meaning this stream. So I've got a couple different scenes that I can do, which is really cool. I like them. I think it's going to work. I hope it's going to work anyway. So yeah. Sandy D is 3 p.m. and the earth is flat. Oh no. Oh no. Clifford Reynolds. It was your birthday the other day, wasn't it? Happy birthday. Happiest of birthdays to you, sir. I'm sorry I missed your show or your birthday stream. But what was I doing? I think I was working. This is was it Sunday? Was this Sunday? If it was Sunday, I was probably working. What have I been up to? I have been trying to stay as busy as I can so I can make sure and pay, all the bills. That's unfortunately, that's what life's all about for the vast majority of us, right? Is working so we can just pay our bills, not so we can have fun and do blah, blah. It's just so we can pay our bills. And here's the thing. If a Piffan says it, then you have to do it. So smash that like button. Do it. Beck, I see you over there. Brendan Riley, I see you as well. Matt G, yeah. It was Sunday. Okay, I was working Sunday. What was I working on? That's a question. That's what I can't remember. Mr. Andrew, yours was last Monday. Well, happiest of birthdays to you as well, even though it's belated, but yes, happy birthday. What is this? I'm Holly from Red Dwarf. Wait a minute. I don't know if I like this. I'm starting to think that maybe black shirt on a black background is not the best because it definitely makes it look like I'm just a floating head, which is kind of funny to be honest, but I don't know if that's the look I'm going for. Um, Sandy D, you got a new job. Very well. That's very good. I hope it's something cool. I hope it's something you enjoy. Here's the thing: I've had jobs in the past where I made a shit ton more money than I do now, but they were soul crushing. I fucking hated them, so I had to not do those jobs anymore because I was going to end up, you know, or pants. You want me to take my shirt off? Me? But the problem is, it's just another black shirt underneath. So it's black on black on black. Uh, Skydiver Tanner says you've lost so much weight, you're just ahead now. Well, I need to lose some in the face. I need to lose some of it because I got like, you know what I mean. I got to lose some in the face. So maybe I should do some chin ups. So stupid. That's so stupid. I apologize for that terrible joke. Link is up in Discord. Thank you so much. Did you put it in? Awesome. Let me do this really quick. I'm going to pin this in case anybody else wants. Where is it? Where is it? How come I can't pin message? Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. Pin it. There you go. So it's now pinned in the Discord channel. So anybody else is interested in Casey Cooper's newest novel that he sold 3,000 copies of. Congratulations, by the way. Head over to the Discord. And what are you, Steve Bannon? How dare you, Brendan Riley? No, it's only 2 shirts, and there's no way I could be Steve Bannon. Okay. Back to that shameless plug for my buddy Sandy D. Or Sandy D. Gosh, Casey Cooper. Go check it out in Discord. Read the book. Go get it. Sean Michael Beasley says, "Have a good stream. Good night. Got to get up at 4:30. I think I have to get up early as well, but I don't care. I don't sleep very much anyway, so fuck it. But go sleep. Funnily enough, and I wish you would stick around for this part, but you gotta go. Whatever. I'm currently working on a new short film. Well, actually, we got like a bunch, but I'm working on a new short film that's loosely based on Mr. Beasley. There, loosely based. He wrote a song. I heard the song, and I decided to write a script. It's gonna be a short film based on that song, kind of. And I hope to get that produced this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a heavier topic for certain. But yeah, gosh, I wish you were sticking around, Mr. Beasley. Beaver said, "Oh, Beaver Zero is in the house. What's up? We're going to start streaming, Beaver Zero and I, soon. We were supposed to start streaming sometime. I think we were supposed to do it today, but we didn't get to it because Beaver's been dealing with a lot of heating and HVAC emergencies. So, he's busy talking about doing a job that you may or may not love. I don't know if you love doing HVAC. I know that it does what it's supposed to do and provides you a decent living. But yeah, he was supposed to be here. Or actually, I think I was going to be on Beaver Zero's channel. I think that's where we got it worked out, which is totally cool with me. It means it's less that I have to do, and he does all the work on his end, and I just show up and talk like an idiot, and then there we go. Brendan Riley has become a new plot hole member. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You too can join in on the fun if you wish. Just hit that little button, hit join, and that's if you want to. Please don't. I don't want anybody to think that I'm here to blah, blah, blah. Just if you want to support the channel, you can do it any of the old ways. You know what I mean? Like and subscribe. That's the perfect amount of support. Watching the videos, all that shit. But if you want to monetarily support the channel, you can. You don't have to. Please don't ever feel obligated. I never want anybody to feel obligated to donate or become a member or any of that stuff. I greatly appreciate everybody who does, but I try to keep my channel as free as possible. So there you go. Like I said, Fred Knott says Beaver needs to grow a beard to be the 4th beardsman. I would tend to agree, but I do want to offer this, and I don't think Beaver would argue with me much on that, and to say that having Beaver as a beardsman might be a little difficult to wrangle because Beaver likes to chatter, and nothing wrong with that. He and I have had some good chin wags over the years, but you add myself, Beaver, PhD Tony, and JL, we would get to like one topic, and that would be it. I don't even know if we get to one topic. ATB Films for 5 of the, is those euros? Is that euros? I think that's euros. It says hi. Well, hello, and thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. I would, but then I lost my blue wrench for not being here, says D Rabbits. A lot of people lost wrenches because there was a lot of shit that was going on with a whole bunch of everything. So I just said, fuck it, we're took it away. Where I'm working on getting the dancing stormtrooper done so I can keep it in, I can bring it up every now and again, but sometime soon, I hope. But yeah, so blue wrenches went away for all, I think the vast majority of people simply because, well, I don't know what happened. Some people came and said they lost it when I didn't take it away. And then there was, I just whatever. Who knows? You know what? Who cares? Who needs a wrench? You guys are self-modding anyways. So yeah, it's fine. You guys are good. There is one thing I did want to bring up really quick. Elizabeth S for 5 Canadian says, here's my support. Love you, Johnny, and welcome back. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. That's one so I'm on EVMux, and one thing I would like to have on EVMux is like the automatic, whenever these come through, they pop up and do the things, but we can't do that yet. So I still have to automate it, automate it. I still have to bring them up, manually, which is fine. I mean, it gets me to actually go and look at the thing, but having like the little things and go off when it's just good. D Rabbit says, I was one of your first. Wah, just kidding. Glad to see you back. Yeah. Yeah. OG Fish says, Johnny, it's been a while. Good to see you. Good to see you as well. Okay. So I was on the fence. That was weird. I just spit all over the place. I was on the fence about talking about this. And the reason why I was on the fence about talking about this is because I kind of wanted to leave it in, just be done with it, right? Just leave it alone. But I think it's important that we do talk about some of the things that have gone on since I've been gone, because they involve me, which is, I'm kidding. This one did involve me, so I wanted to make sure and speak on and give my opinion, and kind of set the record straight, so to speak. Check this out. Look how cool that is. Is that not cool? Not the thing, not whatever that is, but the layout. See, I've been working on trying to provide at least a better experience for everybody. And now I'm even more of just a floating head. I do want to talk about this Welsh News Network nonsense for a half a second, simply because I think there's still a little bit of people who are trying to skate and skirt out of ownership of responsibility. And I think that Dan is one of them. And again, generally speaking, I don't generally like to do the whole infighting drama bullshit. I just don't. I will every now and again, like I'll poke fun at it, like with the whole coded nonsense. But at the end of the day, whenever I was done, shaking up the coded soda and throwing it, I was done. I didn't give a shit. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck. Because coded hasn't done anything, at least as far as I can tell, that is abusive of the community, like scamming people out of money. Whereas I do believe that Dan has. Now, this is all my personal opinions on these. I can share my experiences with what went down with the whole Welsh News Network fiasco. Does anybody need like a brief synopsis? Let me know. Yes, Dave, another stream. As you get older, you have to stream more frequently because you can't get it all out the first go around. So bad. Thank you, D Rabbits. Dan is the only one who hasn't taken responsibility. So Sugar, I wasn't gonna. I was only gonna speak about Dan, simply because he is like the biggest perpetrator of what I believe to be fraudulent activity. All right, so some people say want a quick run through. So Dan runs a channel called Welsh News Network, and he came across this channel a couple of years ago. He would pop up on my live streams, and he would super chat. Hello, Prosecco Rose, good to see you. So he would come up and super chat and this that, and the other. He got super involved in the whole Chile situation. The way so a lot of people, I say a lot of people, there have been some people who've asked me, did I only bring up Dan because he super chatted a lot? And that's not what happened. And there's a lot of people that super chat often, never asked to come up. Or I did ask to come up and just haven't come up, right? And it's not because I don't want to bring people up and make them feel apart. I don't want people to think that you have to super chat to be a guest. You know what I mean? It's just really difficult to vet all of your guests properly. And like I said, this is a situation where I probably should have vetted a little better the guests I brought up. So ownership. So this is what ownership looks like. But I know you guys said you wanted. Okay, so Roden last name, if that is actually accurate, and I have no reason to think that you would make this up, then yeah, coded needs to be pecker slap because that's some bullshit. Being someone who has dealt with suicidal thoughts, ideations, and attempts, I think that anybody who encourages in any way, shape, or form someone to self-harm needs to be neutered. And I don't mean physically. I just mean like this platform should not encourage that. We shouldn't be platforming people. I'm doing better than Trump in his cabinet picks. That's a very low bar. Sorry to anyone who supports. Well, no, I'm not sorry. If you can't objectively look and see that what's going on with that is batshit crazy, then F that crap. Take down time. What's up, buddy? Go to sleep. That's my son right here. By the way, Jesterhead Junkie, Jesterhead meaning in flames. It's my son. His name is Jesterhead Junkie. He has picked up the guitar about a year ago, maybe just a little over a year ago. And my goodness, this kid is light years ahead of where I was at his age. He'll be 17 in golly 9 days. He'll be 17 in 9 days. No, 10 days. My bad. 10 days. So holy crap. But he on his channel, he does a lot of In Flames covers, and hopefully he'll start doing some more other outside of his In Flames. But go check him out. Leave him a nice comment. Don't be mean to him, because if you are, I'll find you. Even though he's 17, he's still my son, and I still will go pop a bear on a motherfucker who messes with my kids. That's all I'm saying. But no, he's really good. Again, so much better than I was at that age. And my goodness. Yeah, go check him out. Griffey for 5 Aussie says, don't tell me how to spend my money. Spend away. Rubba, up, you shuggy. Bam. Thank you so much for that $5 super chat. Don't join a band. There are more bands than there are people with tons of bands. Hello from Canada. Hello. Hello, Ida Pimp, Idaho. Good to see you. Does he wear a kilt? Not yet. We haven't got him in a kilt yet, but we'll see what happens. We'll baby steps. Anyway, back to the Dan thing. So Dan got on my radar because he sent me an email. Like, all you guys remember back when Chile was threatening to sue everybody and everybody, right? All the people. You talk, I'm going to sue everybody, right? That was his deal. So Dan sent me an email saying that, he had come across a bit of money and wealthy, whatever. So if anybody was sued by Chile, that he would have no problem footing the legal bills. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I didn't expect anything to come of that, simply because I didn't think Chile was going to actually have the stones to do so. But he turned around and sued Kate. So I was like, hey, I know this is not quite what we're talking about, but Kate's in a position where she's being sued. You said you'd help out if you want. If you can't, here's the information. See what you can do. And that was it. I left it at that. I figured whatever Kate and he worked out was between he and Kate, none of my business. And I took off. So, Little Wolf, good to see you. So after that whole thing went down, I walked away from it. And Dan come up and he seemed benign enough. Like he would tell some pretty, big stories and whatnot. I was like, whatever, no big deal. Nothing that was that out of sorts. Um, as we started, as we continued to develop a relationship, and yes, I know how people are going to try and abuse that, but whatever, do what you will. But as he and I continued down our working relationship, there were some things that came across. Hey, Tones, good to see you. There were some things that came across both of our paths that uh, led me to enter into a joint venture, so to speak, with him. Basically, what I was doing is this is at the time that I was doing the run up for the Insomniac Films company, which is still going, by the way. Tall Tales, Big Fish, exactly. And I said, hey, I'm looking to, I need, funding for this film. I'm willing to, sell you or, whatever. Come to an agreement of so much percentage for this type of investment, blah, blah, blah. We went through this whole thing, right? We went through this whole back and forth where he seemed to ask a lot of the right questions when it comes to, how am I going to get paid back? How's this? What's the blah, blah, blah? What are the investments for? I need details. All the questions that an investor would ask, right? Where's the money going? You know, do you have your DBA or your LLC paperwork in order? All these things, right? All the questions that if I were to invest in a company, these are questions that you would ask. So we go through this whole back and forth. We agree upon a number. We have an agreement. He sends over, I send over a contract spelling out everything that we agreed on, and he reads it over and agrees to it. But in this contract, he listed his address as Kimnall Hall, red flag number one, right? Kimnall Hall. I didn't know a whole lot about Kimnall Hall because I'm not Welsh or European or whatever. So whatever. But he started like bragging about living at Kimnall Hall and, well, check this out. Look at Kimnall Hall. Here's all these pictures of my place. Here's this, here's that, blah, blah, blah. As I got into that group, the Welsh News Network group, more and more, speaking with some of the other people that were involved with Dan, a lot of things started coming up. And it's important that his place of residence, right? He tells people that he lives at Kimnall Hall. And there's a reason why. There's a reason why he was telling people he lived at Kimnall Hall. We'll get to that here in a second. Drink too much water, you a peeing. Yep. Any hockey fans here? So the Oilers finally won. Well, the Houston Oilers moved to Tennessee now that the Titans. I know that's not hockey. I know. I'm just kidding. Long story short, once I figured out that he was full of shit, and I knew that like all this whole deal was the day that he was supposed to fund the deal is the day he had his alleged heart attack. I don't believe he had a heart attack. I don't believe he was ever in the hospital. And I have enough hearsay evidence that he was never in the hospital. And I don't believe he was. I don't think anybody here believes he was in the hospital. Whatever. So I started noticing a pattern of lies. And I just whatever. I got bigger things to do. I have other things to worry about, dealing with personal issues and work issues and whatnot. I know. I out of all the teams, I'm sorry, this is a squirrel chase. Out of all the teams that I have not seen a Stars game. Well, no, I haven't seen a Mavericks game either. But Rangers, Cowboys. Gosh, is it Four Fire? I can't remember the football team here. That's a solid quote. Tones overthinks it. Solid quote. Anyway, so back to it. I'd walked away because I knew it was full of shit. And I had other things. I had other things to focus on. Well, I started hearing some grumblings about fraud, and somebody had let me know about Dan's checkered past, and started looking into that. And then there were other things, other accusations made about fundraisers and whatnot. And everybody knows that fundraising for me is something that kind of put me on the map in the YouTube world, so to speak, back when Sean Hufford was called out for his fraudulent fundraiser. Well, I'm going to say it's fraudulent because he didn't spend the money where he was supposed to, or where he said he was spending the money. And then there were other people that we looked at. I say we looked at, me and a handful of other folks. And I get that I'm nobody really important, but at this point, it looked like there was something else going on. So he sent a whole mess of Dan, meaning Dan from Westerners Network, had told people that he was doing fundraisers for, like, the one with the dogs, to help a dog shelter, that he never provided any evidence that any dog shelter anywhere received these funds. And at the time, his excuse was, I am not going to name this shelter because of what happened with this other shelter, this other person who worked at a shelter. So we're not going to name the shelter. I'm like, you know what? That's some bullshit. You need to provide evidence that you are giving this money, the money that you are taking. You need to provide evidence that says, hey, we are, here's the evidence, right? All you guys know that every fundraiser that I've run, or anytime I said I'm going to give it to a fundraiser, if I didn't run it directly through YouTube, I provided receipts, right? So there was not Susan G. Komen. We didn't do that. When we did the Pink Fund a couple of years ago, all that money, and you guys got a receipt for that. It's in one of my lives, and I'm pretty sure I still have the receipt for the donation. The Trevor Project, when we did a 24-hour stream, you guys provided receipts for that. And then there was one where I was trying to get to Boston for I tried to get to Boston for an event, and I didn't raise enough to go. So I took all that money and then I put it to, I think I want to say that one went to cancer research. Gosh, which one is it? I can't remember which one it was. It's the big one too. I'm drawing a blank. Doesn't matter. I provided a receipt for that. You guys watch me. I think I may have done that one online or may not, but and see, this is the thing that I didn't know about until after the fact, that Shuggy says he wouldn't give his panel members the name of the shelter. So that shelter had never, nobody knows if that shelter got any funds. Nobody knows if that shelter exists. I doubt it does. I'm not convinced that he gave any of that money to any dog shelter. I'm pretty sure the only dogs that received that money were his. And then, there was another one for the Susan G. Komen breast cancer that he has not provided any, at least to my knowledge. And not to my knowledge. I haven't seen any evidence. I don't think anybody's seen any evidence that he had turned any of that money over to Susan G. Komen. I reached out to Susan G. Komen. They wouldn't comment on that because reasons, and I understand. There was another one, I think it was Wounded Warriors. I'm not sure. That one was handled by Becca, and Becca did show receipts that money was sent. And the organization themselves, I believe they got back to me and said that they received those funds. I have to go back. I have most of this in email. But once Becca did show me the receipts that it was sent. Why is all that important, you might ask, in relation and context to, golly, I have to get that video over there. I have to get used to this again. That one over there, this one I'm about to show. There's a reason. There's a reason I talk about all this, and there's a reason why I have this video showed. So this was after Demon and Mission 22. That's right. Well, okay, so Shuki says Mission 22, where we used their direct link. That's not correct, Shuki. You guys didn't use the direct link. The link that was provided was one that went to a GoFundMe. And I spoke to Mission 22, and Mission 22 says they never use GoFundMe. And I looked at the GoFundMe page, and that was set up by Welsh News Network, but it was set up by Becca. And as I understand it, Becca sent that money again. That's the evidence I saw because Big Dan didn't have access to those funds. That was stateside stuff. I still have, let's see, Epiphan says, I have shown evidence that Dan still has not paid in full, damn it, for a fundraiser for a cancer patient 11 months ago. Yeah, and that's another thing. There was another run that was given. Who was it? It was a streamer. It was maybe it was. It was a YouTube. Somebody on YouTube was having a cancer run. I don't know if. Honestly, I don't remember who it was, and I feel kind of bad about that. I don't remember what the outcome of that person's cancer battle is. I'm sorry, but as Epiphan says, there's still no receipts. Stabby Shade says Becca is a liar. Also, can't trust her word either. I've seen the receipts, so. The receipts that she showed satisfied me that the money was sent. So regardless of whether or not we think Becca is a liar or not, she provided, she actually said, here, you can see here, which is light years more than what Dan showed. So going back to the Susan G. Komen one, there was, the whole talk about how Dan was demonetized, or the channel was demonetized during that run, and he paid that money out of his own personal pocket. That's important. That's important that Dan says, I paid it out of my account, and I'm not going to show you my personal account. I'm not going to show you that because it has my information and blah, 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 which is reasonable, right? So that is a reasonable thing to say. I'm not going to show you my bank statement because it has my blah, blah. However, I can show a bank statement and redact my personal information that shows a donation. Also, when you donate, especially a sum that much, and $4,000 may not seem like it's a huge amount of money. I mean, I'd like to have $4,000 right about now, but you get a receipt. That's a tax write-off, right? That's a huge tax write-off for, it would be for me. See, Shuggy, and here's the thing: the fact that we would say that Veen got most of what was raised, means that he didn't get all of what was raised. Yeah, he claimed that he paid £5,000 from his bank. Picture thingies have a blur effect. I don't know what's going on. Oh, yes, you can redact your sort of little wolf. You can redact your shit. You can also show, hey, look, here's because whenever I did the Trevor Fund, I got a digital receipt for that, so I showed that. And then when I did the one for St. Jude's, that's the one. When I did St. Jude's, I also got a receipt for that, and I showed that receipt. It's really simple. It's not hard. I mean, these research facilities, these research organizations, they want to, they're going to provide you with these things because they understand that a lot of people donate because it's a tax write-off and whatever. I wish people would do it because they need to, but it's real simple. You get a receipt, and he could show that receipt and not his bank statement. But why would him saying, yep. So Epiphan says it was $427 less than what was raised. That's a lot of donations from caring, giving people that, and this is Epiphan's statement that he stole. I think it's important. It's important. And it's important that we understand these little bits, because here's the thing: when you scratch a liar, you find a thief, right? That's the adage: scratch a liar, find a thief. Why is that important? Why is it important about lying? Now, when Dan was telling everybody that he was this super rich, wealthy person who had all this money, why would he do that? He's building a defense. That's what he's doing. He's saying because, and it's, well, I'm super wealthy. I live at this, this mansion, this Kimnall Hall. I own this, and I own properties in France, and I own properties in Scotland, and I work for this, and I have all this money. So why would I need to steal? Why would I steal $5,000? Why would I steal, money for a dog shelter? I mean, I don't need to steal any of that stuff. I'm super wealthy. I'm super wealthy. Why would I need to steal? That's what he's doing when he's telling these people this, and it's important. So we're going to get to this here. Oh, nobody cares. I don't know if
Hello, YouTube.
can you guys hear that voice? Let me know, and then I'll start. You guys hear everything good? I mean, not me. Hear the idiot's voice. What called you fat, JL? The scale? The scale used to call me an elephant all the time. It would just say E whenever I'd step on it.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So this is after he took a very long hiatus after he was found out that A, he didn't own nor live at Kimnall Hall, and B, that he didn't, the vast majority of the shit that he told was false. He still has not verified his service. In fact, people whom are very close to him have doubled down and said, no, he never served. It's important.
Far, far, far too long.
Not long enough.
However, I took myself off into self-imposed exile.
You got shamed off the internet because you were scamming people.
And not for the reasons you all think.
Yes, it is.
And if any of you are here thinking I'm going to badmouth my former co-hosts, yeah, you're shit out of luck. That's not happening. Not doing it. Not getting involved. So, afraid not.
That sound that you heard, that him moving in his chair, was often heard when he was quote unquote in the hospital.
There were some parts that I need to apologize for.
The whole damn thing.
Did I give everyone a false address?
This is important, right? Here, and this is a manipulator at work. Did I give everyone a false address?
Yes. Yes, I
Yes, yes, he did. What does any good manipulator do? They have to control the narrative. And what's a good way to control the narratives is one of the best ways when you need to downplay or distract from your bullshit is you admit one lie. That way you can, that way you can try and hide another, right?
did. I don't trust people easily. I did.
Hang on a second. We're going to back that up for a second.
Address. Yes. Yes, I did. I don't trust people easily. I did not trust anyone. So, yep, I gave a fake address.
He says he gave a fake address because he didn't trust anyone. Now, let me know in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe that, or give me a middle finger if you think that that's all bullshit. Let me see. I want to see. I want to see in the side chat if you believe this nonsense. Casey Cooper, you believe him? You believe that he gave his? Oh, you believe they don't trust anybody? I don't. I believe he didn't trust anybody either, but I don't think that's why he gave people the a fake address. And it's not like he gave them a fake. Here's the thing. If it were I'm giving somebody a fake address, I would be like, I live on 123 Elm Street. You know how many Elm Streets, how many 123 Elm Streets there are in the state in which I live? You know what I mean? That's something that, because then you would look it up and there would be just a whole mess. No, I got you, Casey Cooper. I know. I was just giving you a hard time. uh, if you looked up something benign, like I live on, 123 Elm Street, that's everywhere. You can find that shit everywhere, right? Bovine scatology. Yeah. It's an excuse to cover up 100%. Because here's the thing. If he really was like, I don't trust anybody, so I'm going to give a fake address, he would give a just a generic, oh, I live on 103rd Street, or, I live on Avenue F, or something that's so generic. Um, and see, here's the thing, right? So he didn't even give his co-host the correct address. He said, because I didn't trust anybody. That's not why he did it. There's a reason why he said I lived at Kimnall Hall. Look at all this lavish things. He was trying to build an image. That way he could easily distract from the fact that he was skimming and just not. And so what are we to do with this, right? So we're going to scratch a liar, find a thief. So we know he lied about his address. He just admitted that he lied about his address, but he's also lying about the reason why he lied about his address. So he's not really taking, oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah, and we're gonna get to the whole Irish demon thing from my end as well, because there's some things I do want to say about that. But yeah, he did give a fake address when he told people he lived at Kimnall Hall. That's what he's referring to, right? He's referring to giving people the Kimnall Hall address. Um, and again, the reason why he did that is because he wanted to project his image of being a very wealthy person, and it was important for him to project that image of being a wealthy person. That way, when he said, I'm not going to show my bank statement, I paid money from my bank statement because I'm so wealthy. I can afford to pay, £5,000. No big deal. I got that. It's chump change. What he didn't expect was somebody like me to come out and say, nope, that's bullshit. And I have no problem dragging whatever reputation I have um, to set the record straight. Because if this dude had £5,000 that he could pay out easily, then I would like for him to explain why he couldn't uphold his end of the bargain when it came to funding 11 to 6. Yes, Becca and Dan from Welsh News Network funded 11 to 6, the film that I put out. That's why. Well, I take that back. We had an agreement with Becca and Dan to fund 11 to 6. Becca paid almost instantly. She's like, hey, here's my half. Boom, do your thing. And Dan was like, because he was, quote, in the hospital. He could never seem to get PayPal to work when he was in the hospital. It never seemed to get, I always got these excuses. His brother, Sugar, he's talking about Kimnall Hall. He doesn't say it, but we all know he's talking about Kimnall Hall. We know he's talking about Kimnall Hall. 100%. I'm going to get rid of this now because, we don't need it anymore. Because we just don't need it anymore. Anyway, so giving that fake address helped protect the fact that he was all this wealthy. Dog ate his checkbook, exactly. So whenever it came time for him to front his side of the funding for 11 to 6, he never did. He never fronted it. Becca fronted the whole thing. The whole thing, right? It was $6,500, I believe. I think sounds about right. Yes, it's 30 to 50 twice. Yeah, $6,500 is what Becca paid for funding on 11 to 6. That's why she has an executive producer credit, because she funded the thing. So if anybody has issue with that, or if anybody thinks there's a conflict of interest, then more than happy to, whatever, chew me out about it. Wag, I don't give a fuck. But I've never hidden the fact that she funded the film. Anybody who's ever asked. I think Shiz called me up way back when. It was like, hey, did Dan give you money? I was like, well, no, but Becca did. So I've never had a problem with that. Yep, PayPal issues was his excuse for months as to why he couldn't pay the 427. It's until he stopped answering DMs. Yeah, he doesn't. Good night, Sandy D. He doesn't. He won't because he skimmed the money, and that's just. I mean, that's the long and short of it, right? He skimmed the fucking cash. So, and that's why he lied about where he lived. That's is it. Well, I don't need that. I don't need that money. I'm super wealthy. And then when we found out, whenever I found out later on about all the other why he went to jail, why he was arrested, and mind you, he pled out for that, and he was like, "Well, I pled guilty because I wanted to appeal it." I looked into the Crown Court and asked, "This is me, not anybody else." I asked the Crown Court, "Hey, is that something that happens?" Like, no, you can't. He said the circumstances of an appeal on a confession, on a plea, is like super difficult to meet that standard to qualify for. Even if it's like you generally can't appeal those. Something huge has to transpire, and I don't think it's happened. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know of any instances where it's happened. I'm sure it has, but what did he plead to? You know what? I have those notes. Let me find them. That way I can get you the actual plea. Da, 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 da. Where is it? Here we go. All right, open this up. Pled guilty to fraud, stealing from a food bank. His conviction was October 4th, 2017. Let me see here. Let's go. This is from the Daily Post. No, go away. No thanks. Ainsley counselor in fall from grace after stealing from food bank. Daniel Jones from Almouth was among a group of people who set up a Ainsley Food Bank. It's important, Ainsley Food Bank, like during 2013. Let's see here. He was spared an immediate jail term. Says that he initially denied the charges and was due to stand trial at the I don't know how to say this because it's Welsh, but the Crown Court essentially. Let's see here. The lack of court time meant the trial was not going to proceed today, but his barrister Gareth asked for the charges to be put again, and a 39-year-old pleaded guilty to charges of fraud and theft. Let's see here. He was jailing for 13 weeks on each charge, but suspended the sentence for 12 months. Let's see here. Essentially what they're saying was, well, your fall from grace, your public shame, right? That's going to be your punishment, which I think is a little light. Stealing from a food bank, you're fucking going around telling people you're taking money for food to feed the homeless and the hungry, and you're pocketing that money, like you're stealing from that shit. Now he gave some bullshit ass excuse as to what he was actually doing, and that he was just the face of it and the front. And the majority of the people that have spoken about this were like, no, he was the guy doing it. He was going around collecting. In fact, he was going around collecting at the apartment that he doesn't live at, his council house, which again, whatever, you live in a council house, I don't give a fuck. Live in a council house. Yes, I know I'm currently signed in as a plot hole. Stupid. Anyway, yeah, I have not received the official paperwork, Shuggy. If you have that, you can send it to me. Let me know. Let me know what it'll cost. But I haven't received the official paperwork. I was supposed to receive it from Irish, but he never sent it. And I do have some thoughts as to why that didn't happen. So, yeah. Yeah, so Shuggy says he then claimed that it was overturned, but he was in the hospital, so he couldn't provide the proofs. The funny thing is, he got out of the hospital and he still never provided any evidence. Never provided any evidence that it was overturned, because it wasn't. It was never overturned. It just wasn't. Too busy. Yeah, Irish Demon was too busy pretending to be a woman on Facebook. Here's the thing, and we are going to shift a little bit to the Irish Demon here in just a second. It's just, hey, Cindy Johnson, good to see you. Two swordsmen and two beardsmen. Sir Little Wolf, and who's the other one? Who's the other swordsman? I forget. I'm so bad at this. Anyway, yeah. So sorry, Dan. That's just bullshit. And your whole, well, I lied because I didn't trust people to want them to know where I lived. Yeah, you didn't want them to know where you lived, but not because you didn't trust them. Because if you said, hey, I live in a council house because I'm not really wealthy, then people aren't going to trust you as much. Now they really don't trust you. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's just like, come on, man. We know that you're full of shit. Just own it. I would have had more respect for him had he come up and said, hey, I thought I could get away with it. Blah, 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 blah. We're fighting? Hey, wait, why are we fighting? Skydiver Tanner, what did I do? Item Muto says I stopped. Let's see. I stopped watching Irish when I couldn't stand listening to it anymore. I get it. And here's the thing. People are like, I don't want to listen to you, Johnny. That's cool. Don't. Don't. He turned the paperwork face down so it was tagged. Okay, overturned. Very good. Very good. Yeah, that's the thing. If you're just, hey, you know what? It would have been so much easier to say, I live in a council house. I'm not super wealthy, but the whole egomaniacal part of it is, I did forget. I'm sorry, Tanner. The ego wouldn't let him do that because he has to feel important. That's how he got people to talk about it. That's how he got put into this, scenario. Yeah, I did his shows a couple of times because I got bored. I was like, fuck it, let's do something. I was bored. Let's do it. And I did a few of his shows. He never did the fundraiser. At least I don't remember him doing any fundraiser stuff whenever I was on any of his panels. I don't remember. It is possible he could have. Ida Pimp, I miss all of you too. I miss you as well. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I did forget, Tanner. I'm sorry. Don't worry. I've got a self-flogging thing I can use. That's so terrible. Doop-a-doop-boo. I'm just playing around with things. So, guys, if you see something show up, just, if you want to do it, you can. Don't have to. It's in Discord. All right, cool. Thank you. I'm going to take a look at that. I miss Weekend Horror as well, but JL is too much of a JL to be like, let's do it again. He's like, no, I ended it. We're not doing it ever again. So, I can't. What can I do? What can I do? There we go. We'll try that. We'll see what happens. At least you can stay on topic, and that's not 2 hours of squirrel. It's true. I have Sir Little Wolf, negative, unfortunately. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Tanner. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah. Lordy. Yes, Becky. Oh, son of a bitch. Fuck. Thank you so much, Griffey, for the 10 Aussie dollars. Says, that was easy. Looks like I'll be doing a spicy challenge Griffey, send me an email, theplothole1@gmail.com. Let me know what kind of. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I'm in trouble. I did this once. I'm not backing out. Okay. I'm not going to back out of this. I promise. ATB Films for €10 says drink. I don't drink anymore. I know what you meant though. Thank you so much. I appreciate this, guys. I will do the Spicy Challenge. So Griffey and ATB Films, seeing as how you two are the ones that sent those $10 super chats, send me an email and let me know. I've got Casey Cooper. I stopped drinking, gosh, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 2018. Yeah, 7 years ago. Yeah, I had to, right? So I drink like club soda and I drink non-alcoholic beers. So yeah, but let me know. Let me know. I have Reaper Squeezins. What else do I have? I have a few things. I'll tell you what. I will in Discord here after the stream. I'll take a photo of all the spicy stuff that I have, or I could do something different. And yeah, Sir Little Wolf says, "Are we making Irish Heat Reaper sauce again?" I think Irish needs to. Some things that Irish needs to do to kind of make amends. Some things you need to do to make amends. Yeah. PhD Tony drinking Malort was great. Road No Last Name says, so that is why you remember the Legend of Steve. Oh, man, I wish you guys could have been there for that. That was, I hadn't been on vacation in, God, fucking years. I hadn't been on vacation in years. And we took 11 to 6 to Screamfest in Hollywood, October of last year. And we took, we had a whole group. Okay, so Raven Darkstar says non-alcoholic beer still has alcohol in it. It's less than 1%. So it is still considered, I would have to drink like a case to equate like one beer, I think. And that's just not happening. And you know what, Raven? Damn it. Don't take that away from me. I've already given up all the things that, well, not all things, but I gave up whiskey, gave up scotch. What's up, Commander Darklight? Yeah, you stranger. Yes. Look at this. Stranger. There it is. Good to see you, buddy. Anyway, yeah. So I gave up, I missed the whiskey at the end of the night. And I still have, Fred Knott says I collect whiskey. About 250 bottles. Damn. I've got one bottle of Jack Daniel's single barrel that I bought when my son was born almost 17 years ago. So I have a 17-year-old bottle of whiskey that's still sealed, never been opened. News Now NME says, what's the point of non-alcoholic beer? Well, for us alcoholics who have an issue with alcohol, the point, I still get I like the taste of certain beers. And to be honest, I wouldn't even drink non-alcoholic beer had it not been for the fact that Guinness put out a non-alcoholic Guinness. And it tastes exactly like regular Guinness. And it's delicious. And I enjoy it. So there you go. That's the point. So I can still feel like I'm enjoying the things that, like the end of the night, kind of just little sip of, and then I don't drink them often because it's kind of fucking expensive, but it's expensive not to be unhealthy or some shit. But yeah, looks like you picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue. Good one. That's a good one. Yeah, but no, man, I wish you guys could have been there for that Screamfest. The Legend of Steve will be something that reminds me of just good times. I will never forget the Legend of Steve. I still work with Asa from time to time. I actually just did a gig with him a week and a half ago when it was 17 fucking degrees outside and it was an overnight shoot outside. It was fucking cold. Hmm. I tried non-alcoholic wine. Surly Wolf grape juice. Okay, so there's also the non-alcoholic, and I'm not gonna talk too much about this, but there's this non-alcoholic. Okay, wrote no last name. You didn't have to fact check me on that. Okay, golly. The point is, it's not enough. You don't get drunk. Who's going to drink 10 Budweisers? I know there are people out there that would, but I'd have to drink 10 NA Buds to get, yeah. Thank you, Shuggy. No, there's a non-alcoholic spirits now, and I tried a whiskey one. It was just awful. It was awful. It was awful. Angel Game Mistress is giving Ilya Moon vibes, 100%. That was another one that we really dove into, and I felt that she kind of got off. The cocaine-free crack is really not worth it. That's just rock salt at that point, I think. But yeah, the whole Ilya Moon thing, talking about she had cancer, like fuck, that shit pissed me off to no end. Using cancer as a means to get your bills paid. If you have cancer, 100%, you need help, 100%, right? But it's I've got cancer, but it's mouth cancer, and we caught it early, and my bills are only $5,000. Get fucked. She got off too easy, but who am I? I'm not the judge. I collect it, turn it over, and whatever happens, happens. But that's it. The cocaine-free crack is really not worth it. I couldn't have said it better myself. Just insane. Sweet. All right. I'm going to look at this really quick. Just open. Oh, I can't open it here because I don't have Adobe. Well, I won't do that then. I've got Scottish and German genes. Alcohol is performance enhancing drug. I have some German and some Scotch Irish in me as well. I think that's why I did so well with drinking. But then I also have a lot of Native American, which is why I did not so well with the not needing the drinking. So, yeah. From faking cancer to parking in handicap spots is low. Here's the thing. Don't do it. I mean, come on. Those handicap spots are there for a reason. If you don't genuinely need it, I know some folks that have like the handicap stickers that walk perfectly fine and they'll park way the fuck, wherever, just and walk. You know what I mean? But what? The cancer and died grift ran rampant. Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I think I'm rambling a little too much. I'm kind of getting a little out of sorts here. What were we talking about? Who knows? We're talking about Dan. That's the thing. Here's the thing, Dan. No, you did not. You did not lie about your address because you didn't trust people the way that you say you didn't trust people. You didn't trust people because you're a fucking liar and you're a grifter and you're a frauditor. You're a borderline scam artist. So either prove me wrong and provide the receipts that show that you gave the money, verifiable receipts, mind you. So you're going to have to give, and here's the thing, you don't have to because, but if you want me to believe you, you're going to have to show me a receipt to Susan G. Komen that in the amount of £5,000, which is, was it five? Let's see, what is the conversion? That's like 6,500 American dollars. Let's look here. British pounds to USD. Okay, maybe not quite so much. So if you said 5,000, I was close. It's 64. I was actually pretty close. Look at that. Yeah, $6,441.60. That's as it is now. It could have been a little more, a little less at the time. So, yeah, roughly $6,400. If you could show me that receipt, or if you gave it to Susan G. Komen type thing in the UK or in Wales, great. Show the receipts. It's something that's really simple to do if you actually did it. I don't think you did. Tell us show the receipts of who got the funds for the dog fundraiser. Show those receipts. I don't think you can because I don't think they got it. I don't think they got the money. And show the receipts of you giving everything that you owe to the other guys. Super simple. You could shut me right up. Matter of fact, you show those receipts and I can verify them, something that I can actually verify myself. Show me those receipts. Boom. I will come on live. I'll go on any show. Be like, nope, I was wrong. He did it. He showed that he provided the evidence. Blah blah blah. No problem with that. 100% every day, all day. But I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can do that because I don't think they got the money. Almost pill time. That's what I said. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. That was terrible. Okay, Becca, you should have. Let me see. No, you don't. Okay. All right, I'll figure that here in a minute. Oh, he won't do it, Sugar. That's the thing. He won't do it because he can't because he didn't give the money. He didn't do the things he said he was going to do, and he thought that he could step away from YouTube and long enough, and then people would kind of forget about it, and they kind of did. They kind of forgot about it because he's such small time, and really, in the grand scheme of things, the guy is scamming people out of like $6,000, isn't it, or $7,000, whatever it is total. We'll say $10,000, right? I mean, it's a big deal. You shouldn't fucking do that. You should be shamed off of whatever platforms. So, yeah. But at the end of the day, people kind of forgot about it a little bit. And part of that, got sidetracked by the whole coded thing. Which, to be honest, man, if you guys are like, and I feel partly responsible for the coded thing. I say partly, only partly because whatever. At the end of the day, I liked fucking with him because he was so easy to rile up. And then, like I said, he was like a toy. He was a toy, right? I go find, I want to play this toy. I play the toy, blah, 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 and then put it back in the toy box and walk away from it. Fine with me. But apparently, he and Irish Demon. That's one thing. I do want to touch on that. I say that's terrible choice of words. I do want to speak on that for just a second. I was quasi spoken to about some of the things that Demon was doing before Shiz and all that popped back out and did her thing. If you want all the context, go check out Shiz's channel on that. She's got the whole thing, right? I'm trying to think about the best way to say this without sounding just too whatever. It's tough. I'll just say that I wasn't always a fan of the way that people would. I'm not a fan of the way people would use their situations to get like a sympathy dollar or whatever. Like, oh man, I'm just this, that, and the other, and I can't afford to pay this, and let's put some money together so I can get my, my brother a nice gift or some shit, right? Fuck that. Hey guys, I want to blah blah blah, and whatever I raise here, I'm gonna send that way. That's one thing, right? You know what I mean? Just be upfront, but don't like a sympathy. Even that, right? It's like, come on, I don't know. I don't know how. I know I don't like it because I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna say like, hey guys, I need to buy my mom, a birthday gift or whatever. Send me a whole bunch of money, right? I don't know. Something about that, And then that never really sat well with me. But at the end of the day, if that's what he wanted to do, then do your thing, whatever works for you, I guess. But there were some other instances, other issues that kind of came about where there was a gentleman in the hospital whom sent him money based on a sob story, and then like, come on, guys in the hospital fighting, whatever. You're gonna like, and then he wouldn't even go see him in the hospital when he was in the States, and I don't know. That whole thing just never. I didn't know about a lot of that until Shiz put it out, and Shiz brought it to me, brought it to my attention. I knew that I didn't particularly care for, like, I need this thing, and let me go to my subscribers and see if they'll send it to me, right? I did that once. Not gonna lie, did it once when I was gonna go to Boston to do that event. I think it was a Turtle Boy confrontation with Demon. Um, I didn't particularly care for it. I didn't like the way I felt while doing it. So I've done it once. And then, even like I said, I made sure to put the caveat that if I didn't raise enough, I was just going to donate it, which I did. And everybody knew that. I told that before I took any money. Took the money, donated it, provided receipts, you know. But I didn't like the way I felt. So I was like, man, I'm not going to do that again. I'm just not going to do it. Not going to do it. So, yeah. Ida Pip Budaho says, I never sat well with me either. Where'd he go? I just can't see real. Never sat with me either. It was like he was always having problems and needed help. It was ridiculous. It got a little, I don't want to say grifty, but maybe that's the word for it, And Commander Darklight makes a solid point, right? It says, as long as we know what the money is used for and it's used for that, we're good. Yeah. And at the end of the day, if I come up here and say, hey, I need, I don't know, $100,000 for this film, and anything you send to me, I'm going to put towards this film, right? And you guys send me the money and I put it towards the film. Like, I did a fundraiser for my business that, hey, I'm going to use the money that I bring in on this fundraiser for business expenses, gear, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? And that's what I did. I made sure to use that money for business expenses. We went to go meet a potential investor in Houston. I bought some of the gear that I use for production, things like that. You know what I mean? So telling you this is what we're going to do, and it wasn't like a, oh, what was me? It was, hey, if you want to get involved, and we have these prizes. Mind you, a lot of folks are wondering when those things are going to come to fruition, and 100%, you absolutely should. I will be contacting everybody who has donated and didn't get what they were supposed to yet. Not that you wouldn't get it. It just, some things happened. So I will reach out to each and every one of you. And if you have any questions, again, email me, plothole1@gmail.com. Happy to talk to you about it. Pants. That's funny. Hey, Tony, good to see you. We were talking about you earlier. But I just never liked the idea of using, like, my situation as a means to get money for me. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why you guys didn't hear from me for almost a year. Did I need a whole lot of help? Sure did. Did I come up here asking for it? Sure didn't. Right? Because I don't like the way it makes me feel. You know what I mean? I don't like, hey, I'm having a tough time, having a tough go, send me money. That's just, it's a little bit ick. Don't like it. You know what I mean? Now, if you don't have a problem with it, that's where you want to run, then by all means, as long as you, again, like Commander Dark, like I said, if you say, I need this money so I can pay this bill, people send you that money, you pay that bill, then I know what I'm sending my money for, right? Tony seemed to want to have some things about the ID situation. I'm sure Tony has a lot to say about Irish. I know he does, actually. We've had some conversations in the background. Casey Cooper says, in the end, you have to live with yourself. Yes, I have to live with myself. And I'd rather come up here and eat spicy sauce, right? Like do a one of these here goals. We're gonna start another goal, see if it happens. You know what? I'm gonna make it tougher. And again, you don't please for the love of Pete. Let's see here. Call it. There we go. Excuse me. There. Started goal. Much more difficult. When I say dealer's choice within reason, I mean, come on, let's not have me doing something that's going to get me a TOS or whatever. You know what I mean? Commander Darklight says Dima was not the person he put on YouTube. No, he wasn't. But here's the thing. A lot of us aren't. You know what I mean? Like there's a little bit of a difference. Like when you meet me, you see me on here, and I talked about this a couple of streams ago when JL popped up and we're talking about the week in horror and how I do miss it, right? Because I do. And I know I misspelled it. I know I did. Sorry, wrote no last name. I was typing without looking. I'm not very good at that. Squirrel. Fucking hell. What was I talking about? I'm so. Weekend Horror. I played like an exaggerated version of myself, right? A lot of the films that I would like make fun of. God damn it. Son of a monkey's uncle. Brendan Riley for $20 says, go for it. All right. Well, you guys, again, the plothole1@gmail.com. You put in your dealer's choice. Let me know what that dealer's choice is. Again, nothing is going to be any TOS violations, please. But again, within reason. Let me know. Thank you so much for that. Oh, snap. This is going to be interesting. I've got to eat 2 things of sauce, I think, and then whatever Brendan Riley comes up with, I'm in trouble. So when you come in, when people interact with me outside of what I put on YouTube, we talk about movies. I might have a strong opinion about a film, but at the end of the day, it's going to be, I don't like it. It's not for me. But if I'll happy to have a conversation with you about it. And I'll give you the reasons why I don't like it. But generally speaking, unless it's something I really don't like, most of the time, okay, when I'm like, oh, these movies are stuck and they're stupid and blah, 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 whatever. It's an exaggeration. It's a character you play, right? It's a little bit of a facade. I try to keep mine a lot closer to who I am in real life. Like if you guys ever get the opportunity, if that sounds fucking egotistic right there. If you ever get the opportunity to meet me, should our paths cross in real life, that's a much better way. It's going to be more. I'm going to be similar to how you guys see me here because I try to be as authentic of myself as possible, but this is definitely going to be a little bit more of a toned down version, unless I'm going to, in a situation where I'm, again, trying to, whatever. I'm being very confusing right now, but Kelly Fitzpatrick says, please, no peppers. The last time damn near killed the stomach. Yeah. Whenever I did talking about the Insomniac Films fundraiser, I did a thing where I did 2 of the Pocky's 1-chip challenges, and then I did let's see, what did I do? What was that? I did 2 1-chip challenges. Both of them had Reapers. One had Reaper squeeze-ins and one had the Last Dab on it. And then I also did one of those little nitro gummies, that really hot gummy bear. And that thing was just gross. It was just nasty. And then I think I did something else. I think there was another one. And I can't remember what I think it was 4 things that I did, but I can't remember. But I haven't been diagnosed with ulcers, but I probably have a stomach ulcer. That night, after the stream was awful. It was awful. Um, it was awful. There was some retching going on, and it was worse going that way than it was going this way. So, yeah. PhD Tony says, JL seems to be a fan of, here's this weird essay you need to read to get the film. That's true. JL has been known to be the turd polisher 3000 operator. Brendan Rice says, I haven't seen Aliens Romulus yet. I didn't particularly care for it. I thought it was just not good. Good night, Shuggy. I was not a fan of it. But that's me. Again, I just didn't like it. There's some things that came up, some like, I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it, so I'm not going to say too much about it. Let's just say there were some plot holes. There were some things that just didn't make sense, and there's some things that they did just because. And I didn't like it. I just overall didn't like the movie. Just did. It's tough, right? Because again, a lot of us remember Alien and how just pivotal that movie was. I'll tell you my experience with Alien. I'm gonna give the story and then answer a couple questions. Raven Darkstar says it's good. Don't listen to Johnny. He doesn't like anything. See, that's the thing. That's the thing, right? People think I don't like movies, and that's not true. There's a lot of movies I love. You should apply for funding for poop powered rocket research. I think Elon Musk already took that one. I'm just going to put that up there. Commander Darklight is not wrong. He's not wrong. But I remember how I was introduced to the world of Alien. The Fort Worth Museum of Modern History, Science History. When I was a kid, they had I guess it was like a science fiction exhibit or the horror. I think it was a horror film exhibit, actually. Because it was a horror film exhibit. But as you walked in, like they had the big alien queen, and they had Ripley in the loader, and then they had the film playing a loop of that scene where she's fighting the alien queen. That's how my brother and I got introduced to Aliens. And we're like, this looks fucking cool. And it's aliens and they're fighting. It's so awesome and amazing. And we must have seen that thing 100 times. Back when the museum was affordable. Now, fuck me, running. You can walk by the museum and not pay anything, but if you want to see any of the good shit, you got to pay a lot of money. But I digress. So one weekend, my brother, we used to, when my father would pick us up for visitation, we would go Blockbuster. Blockbuster, by the way, everybody here is old enough to know Blockbuster. We would go to Blockbuster and rent movies. Is what we did. Well, my brother rented Alien, thinking it was Aliens. Now, for all of us who have seen both Alien and Aliens, we both know that those are two totally different movies. I say totally different, but they kind of are, right? My dad transported the Predator statue once. Oh, that's cool. Damn. PhD Tony's just fucking dropping bombs in the side chat. So we put on Alien thinking we were going to be watching Aliens. Now, I must have been like 10 years old at the time. If that. I could have been, I was 9 or 10. So I was young. And when that first Alien came on, when we started watching this movie, like, this is not the movie we thought it was. This is far more terrifying. That movie is a masterclass in suspense, in horror, and just overall a great movie. So that's my memory of Alien, that alien world, that like being that 9 or 10-year-old boy, just petrified. Like I couldn't sleep for fucking ever. Yeah, Brendan Riley, it's true. Alien was more nerve shattering, spooky. Aliens was a pure shoot 'em up, right? So, Aliens, the sequel, still a good movie. Don't get me wrong; it's a good movie, right? James Cameron did a fantastic job with it. It's much more action. There's still some scary parts in there, but it's very much more an action film. It's action horror versus science fiction horror. So, oh man, I saw Alien in the theater at 9 years old. Us Gen Xers are made of sterner stuff. Maybe you are. I don't know. Some of you Gen Xers are just soft. PhD Tony says both are great films. It's good they stopped the franchise there. Here's where I will give JL and Commander Darklight a little bit of grace. Alien 3 wasn't terrible. Wasn't good, mind you. It should have been just it should have been better. The CG graphics were so bad. It was just so bad. Um, but had David Fincher been given the latitude and the ability to shoot the film and make the film the way he wanted it would have been so much better. And had they actually used practical effects the entire time as opposed to that fucking cartoon Alien, so much better. But they didn't. And then Alien 4 was just I remember Dark Star. But I'm on the cusp. I'm at the end. It depends on who you ask. If you ask, some people are like, you're in that gray area. You're in that gray area of possible Gen X, possible millennial. So yeah. Yep, studio meddling did ruin it. Commander Darklight said it wasn't great, but I liked it. See, the thing about Alien 3 is that there's a really good cast in there. You know, Charles S. Dutton, you had oh gosh, Charles Dance, um, Casey Cooper, get off my lawn. Ooh, Tones, you are just Tones. You put yourself in the corner for that one. You, corner now. Corner. You'll come out for 2 minutes. I can't believe you said. I'm not even going to read that. Mr. Truman was president when I was born. Wow. So you were alive in 3 centuries. I'm just kidding. Yeah. But anyway, so whenever I watch the newer films like Alien, from Alien 4 on, Alien 4, Alien versus Predator, Alien Requiem, Prometheus, what was that shit one that came out after Prometheus? Covenant. Yeah. It's like, Ridley Scott, you did Prometheus. What were you thinking? Could have been so much better. Space Odyssey, 2001 Space Odyssey is a great film. Great film. Not that 2010 Space Odyssey isn't a good movie. I mean, it's got Helen Mirren in it. She's gorgeous. But it's not. No, come on. Yes, I could use a lot of those. I'm Tones. I'm just giving you a hard time. To each his own. You know, I do know that 2001 it's a difficult watch for, especially if that isn't your first Kubrick film, right? So if you'd seen like Full Metal Jacket, even A Clockwork Orange, or even Eyes Wide Shut, which is a piece of shit, before you saw 2001, I can understand like, hey, what's going on here? It's a very, it's a thinker. It's a very big thinker film, bigly. But yeah, I love the shit out of 2001 Space Odyssey. HAL 9000 is a staple. And it gets brought in. Holy shit. I too saw the birds in the drive-in, but not on first run, obviously, but I saw it in the drive-in. I remember the drive-in. Drive-ins are great. It was so much fun. I saw Star Trek 4 at the drive-in. That was fun. What else? I saw a couple things at drive-in, but yeah. Okay, Tony, now you need to go in the corner. Okay? you join Tones in the corner, and we'll tell you when you can come out. Okay. Just I like 2001 Space Odyssey so much that I allowed that to influence the artwork for no, not in the Studebaker. It was a what's it called? Station wagon, but not a Studebaker. But 2001 influenced the Enemy Within artwork for our first album. I don't know if. Let's see if I can find that. Let me see. What? They're selling my CD on eBay? Wow. You know you made it when you find your records on eBay. Nobody's buying it, of course, but yeah, let me show this. Hang on. Do. All right, where is it? No. Yep. I don't know. Something about this just makes me happy. They're showing my record or my album is on eBay. That's fun. That's funny. Wow, this is in holy shit. This made it all the way to New York. Look at this. I'm in Texas and my record from 2014, I think, made it all the way to New York and it's on eBay. I still have a whole mess of these. So if you want one, I'll sell you one. If you like rock music, heavier rock. But yeah, no, see, here it is. This is my 2001 Space Odyssey. Um, boom, right here. This whole thing was heavily influenced by 2001 Space Odyssey. So, my goodness. I'm like, I'm just mind blown that this has made it to the used market in New York. Wow. I have a bunch that are unwrapped, so if you want, let me know. You didn't make it if you can still find it, or what? I don't understand. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? The best movie ever made, in my opinion, is Casablanca. Well, you must be like 100 years old. Okay. It's not the best movie. It's a good movie. But Humphrey Bogart, I mean, come on, man. I'm teasing. I'm teasing. Teasing. Or am I? Just kidding. Yeah, I've actually put out three albums. I have access to one of them. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. PhD Tony, you're just wrong. It's so mean, but I can handle it. Imagine how much more successful your CD would have been if it had been inspired by a good film. Damn. Where's your CD, Tony? PH little D Tony. Where's your record? You don't have a record. It's still bogged by this is like mind blowing that shit's on fucking eBay. I had somebody come to me and tell me they found my record in like a local half price books. I was like, oh, that's cool. But no, this is all in fucking New York. That's just crazy to me. Wow. I'm gonna have to put this on my watch list. Oh, damn it. Oh, here we go. See if it works. No, don't text me no damn code. Just sign me in. Okay. Yep. Wow. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I have some papers published in books. You know what? I have books published. Maybe if your papers were on isostatic glacial adjustment that it based on good science, they'd have been more successful. Jeez. I actually have a whole album's worth of other music that is just sitting waiting for somebody to come sing on it because I don't sing. All right, guys. I think that's good for now. I think that's enough. I wanted to talk some politics, but I don't think I want to do politics right now. Not right now because it's just this whole American political system is just I don't get it. I don't get it right now. It's really interesting the things that are happening. Okay. Yeah. My goodness. Tony and Johnny acting like children. Yeah. I mean, come on. Where else are we going to act not our age? Skydiver Tanner says PhD Tony doesn't do rock, he does lullabies. Was common when he did the Beersman streams. That's perfect. PhD Tony says this sort of exchange is why the Beardsman was a cultural icon. We're going to do it again. I won't, Kelly Fitzpatrick. I won't do it this time, but we probably will have some in the future. Commander Darklight for the 20 Aussie with the heart emoji. Thank you so much. I have missed all of you. You guys are awesome. Again, those of you who did the goals and whatnot, please send me an email of what, or yeah, if you're not in the Discord, let me know. Somebody we'll figure that out. Or you can just send me an email, theplothole1@gmail.com. Let me know within reason what I'm to do in the next stream. That will happen sometime within the next, I don't know, 3-4 days, give or take. And then, yeah, it's fun. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I will see you on the flip side. Oh, wait, I didn't do it right.